Greetings everyone, welcome back to Top Tier Arcade. My name is Steve. Today we're in my apartment. Normally on a pickup, as you've seen before in my videos, I'm very excited, ecstatic, a little anxious and nervous picking up my new game, and often very happy that morning or that day where I'm going to pick it up. Today I can't do that. Normally I'd be in the car again going crazy, but that's not the case. For 7 years I've been waiting to pick up a Robo-War, and a friend of mine said, "Okay Steve, I'm ready to sell it. You had dibs, I know you've wanted it," and gave me a very fair price. And I brought one of my other pinball buddies with me, and we had a good 4-hour drive to go pick it up. It was a beautiful day. We had a great conversation on the way there. We met my pinball buddy that sold it to me, and we picked up the game. Finally, we drove it home. Robo-War, out of my original 4 games that I wanted back when I started collecting in 2012, I only wanted 4 pinball machines. I wanted Robo-War, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Hobbit, and Lord of the Rings. And then once I got into the pinball hobby, I really expanded my variety of pins and what I wanted. This is my 5th game, and it was coming top tier. It is behind me, but the reason why I'm not doing a conventional opening is with good came bad. Even roses have their thorns. On the way back, having a nice cigar and I have a great talk with, again, beautiful weather. I was really on cloud 9. Really, I was having a great time, great company, and I finally scored a game that I honestly never even played before. And I really wanted in my collection. I think Robo-War is the best music in all of pinball. I've been saying it from the beginning, but everyone's opinion's different. My phone died on the way back because I was going to film more, obviously me bringing it to the apartment and setting it up, and I got an emergency call. That someone, my wife contacted, pinball buddy that contacted the person beside me, who said, "Pull over and call your wife immediately." And I'm like, what? For what? My phone barely ever dies, and this time it just did. I had the GPS on for 4 hours almost each way, plus recording in 4K 60 frames, drained the battery. And when my wife, when I called her, she said, "Steve, pull over. You have to pull over. I have to tell you something." And it was bad news. My uncle passed away at the age of 61. And it was, still is, a huge shocker. I literally found out a week ago. We buried him a few days ago. Because of the coronavirus, there's so much going on, restrictions, what we can and cannot do. A lot of people didn't want to come. A lot of older relatives and family didn't want to come because of that. It was just all over the place. There's family issues. And we reliving the nightmare that we did with my brother and my godmother 2 years ago. And we were kind of just getting over it, and this struck. His 3 children, who are my very close cousins and first cousins, who play with me very often, are a very tight-knit group. I think later on in the next month or so, with their permission, we're going to sit down and explain to them how my brother Mike, who passed, taught us fighting games, and then we taught my uncle, who then taught their sons with us. So there's that continuity of bringing on the next generation. He very important to us gaming wise. He was a very big gamer back, in the day, especially when Mortal Kombat 2 came out, but I don't want to ruin the stories. I know it's a little long-winded, but I'm out of it. I'm not myself. I have no desire to play the pin or to set it up. I feel guilty that I had the van when he died, and my parents needed it was a nightmare. Still is a nightmare. So it's been a very emotional week. I'm still not over it. Hasn't hit me yet, really, but now it's starting. Doesn't matter if I sleep, 5 hours or 10 hours. I always feel exhausted, and there's this sorrow that has come over us. And again, for my parents to deal with that again, it's almost overwhelming. So what I'm going to show you next is me filming the only footage I have of my pickup when I was at my buddy's place, just showing the game before I fold it and put it in the van, and some footage of us just about to descend back home. And shortly after I got the call, and again, I feel guilty. I had the van, my dad needed the van. Where was I? I was smoking a 2.5-hour cigar, which you'll see in a moment. It was a great time, I was having a great time finally, and life changes in an instant. So let's cut away at that footage. I'll show you, this is prior to me finding out what happened and about my uncle. So you can see obviously my tone's very different there, and I was super excited. And then what we'll do is after that footage, we'll do a montage of me setting up the game. And then from there, just looking at the game now that it's set up. Before I do so, let me pick you up. I'm going to do this live. So this is what came with the game before. Okay, so here's the game, obviously. I guess now we can go ahead and take this cover off. Now again, as you're going to see in the video, that the only thing really wrong with this game is the cabinet. The original paint needs work, but we're going to now get into it. I took a bouquet from my uncle's funeral. I don't want to show his name or whatnot. Maybe later on when this kid's with me. That's his card that you pick up at the funeral. The legs don't match. These are not Gottlieb legs. These are higher than 17 inch, which are supposed to be good for Gottliebs. They're not the best legs, obviously. They're rusted and they're not the same, but these are just for now. I don't know what I'm going to do. Either get new legs, the original ones, or do these ones up. I'm not sure yet. Coin box, I need a different coin lid. Not a big deal. Obviously the 4 bolts. It's a two ball multi-ball game. There's the keys. That's one of the wrenches. I can't remember which one I need to put the legs. And then that's a copy of the manual. I will be getting an original a little later on. So I'm going to set you up, like I said, in a moment, but you're going to see the footage prior to me bringing it home, and we will go from there. All right, so we've just arrived, and here is the Robo-War all set up and on. Looks good so far. Some things I'm just doing a visual cue of what we're going to be doing with the cabinet and help, restore the game. Doesn't seem like it needs too much. So we saw there is some cabinetware that I did know of before, which again, there is going to be a point in time where I do start to restore it. We'll look at it closer when we get it home. Again, this is going to have to be done because there is companies that redo the vinyl, so we'll look into that. Here's the actual playfield itself as it sits. Looks pretty good. I just played it before when I just arrived. Seems to be okay. But we're going to be loading this up in just a moment and bringing it back to the apartment, and then we'll set it up and play it a little there before we cut the video. So I will be back. We'll be loading in just a second. Okay, so we've just loaded the game. Robo-War is now set nice and safe. We've got the coin box, got the legs, which are not the original because normally the Gottliebs are 17-inch chrome. We're going to talk about that later, but there's the game all secure. We're going to head out very shortly. We're going to just talk to the buyer, hang out a little, and just play the game. And we're going to be on the road. And then I have this for the road. So I'll give an example. A regular cigar is like something like this, right? Look at this monster. It's called the Texas Lancero. Texas Lancero is 6.5 inch by a 62 ring gauge, which is a 2.5-hour smoke. So that's going to be fun. Might do a little footage of that. So I will be back and see how the travels back go. I'll be back. All right, so Robo-War now is on legs per se. Interesting part about the back, this clamp. If you guys don't know, see, it's only that one clamp holding it. I'm sure there's neck bolts that are not in here because it is a little wobbly that we're gonna have to do. Another thing to notice about these old Premier Gottliebs are they're so tall. Now keep in mind, the buddy I bought it from, he's tall himself. Again, I'm short, I'm 5'6", so I'm almost gonna, leaving it the way this is, I almost have to tippy-toe to play, which is silly. Not really, but to be uncomfortable. So I'm gonna do it off camera. I'm gonna adjust those legs. I'm gonna lower them, so I'm gonna lower those down to the floor and then lower that in so I can just play. Because remember, the legs are already a little higher than normal. Here's a quick review or a quick view of the game. Again, no, very, very minimal, if any, wear on the play field. That's why I wanted it really good condition for this game, which is often found pretty beat up. Obviously, again, the cabinet is going to need new decals, but again, we're going to deal with that later when I move, because this is actual paint. So then I would have to sand this down, which again, in the apartment, I have the inflexible. So I'm going to just take, take the lockdown bar off and like fire it up, and then maybe just show you it working, and then I think we're gonna be good, because remember, we have the cabinet review on the next video coming, then the review of the game, the memories on why I wanted it, and actual gameplay, but that's coming up in the videos preceding. So I will be back to show you it all done up. All right, so there is Robo-War working. I did a test game, so far so good. I'm gonna just look inside. We're not gonna do the cabinet. I'm not going to prolong the video. Again, it's already longer with me explaining what happened, but again, looks very beautiful. This is going to clean up really nice. I already know a few things I have to do. I have a whole list of what to do, which I'll show you next video, the cabinet part 2, but there's a lot of things I want to, not a lot of more cosmetic things I have to do to the to the pin. But yeah, overall really, really nice. I'm very happy with it. Again, needs some work on that, but either way, it looks to be great. So, guys, look, I'm gonna wrap up the video. You'll see more in the coming videos, and I'm gonna go through. We're gonna open the cabinet. I haven't even seen inside, and we'll open the back box. I haven't even opened that either, which usually is a little tough to deal with in the back, apparently, but so far so good. All right, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Obviously, a lot coming out with Robo-War. It looks beautiful. Again, I'm going to get in depth next video. It was definitely something that I was a lot more excited about. Like, I was so excited to play this, but now, honestly, I'm just really not in the mood. My uncle's passing took priority and still does, and it's just very tough to really get into it right now. But I'm not going to worry about too much the sun, which normally, like if you see my other cabs, they're very, look how ugly Hobbit is, with that old deer blanket. But again, it's sun drenched, because this I'm going to have to do anyways. This cabinet I'm going to have to do. If the cabinet was mint, I would cover it. But I don't mind, so even if it fades it a little, there's absolutely no big deal. With the Translit as well. Translit looks a little older. I'm going to be getting a new one, so either way, if it fades it, no problem. So that doesn't bother me, which is a little less maintenance for the game. All I'll do is just cover the playfield glass so it doesn't, the sun doesn't touch the glass, and I'll cover that up. Other than that, we're good to go. All right, guys, take care, and I'll see you in the next video, and God bless you all. I hope all your family are doing well, because right now it's very tough, and I really hope so. Thanks for checking out Top Tier.